Hello, fellow gamers. It is the Ramblin' Manager. Once again, I had a small idea as I was pacing back and forth in the living room here. I've kind of been on this subject a little bit in my head here in the past, but it's kind of a two-parter here. The short bit was just basically um, debating what special was better in the three Fallout games I've played extensively, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4. And in my opinion, the clear winner was Fallout New Vegas because even though I will confess, I used glitches for Fallout New Vegas, like to the point where it's recommended, it's mandatory. I there hasn't been a single playthrough on New Vegas where I didn't use the check glitch, the most infamous glitch in my opinion for Fallout New Vegas. I always use that glitch just to fuck up the game and get myself double perks. But the reason why New Vegas I felt was superior compared to Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 was it felt like I actually had to work for it more. Like, let me just go through the other two games first before I go into New Vegas. Fallout 3, the origin story, the beginning. That one you were actually tight for special points because it's like, if you played the base game, you only had like a certain amount, like what was it? 49, I think, if I recall. And unless you take like special training from like the level up screens, which were completely fucking pointless. The perks were more their weight in gold than the special points. Ultimately, you didn't have enough to fully max out your character. But that was until Bethesda released Broken Steel and they increased the level cap from 20 to 30. And they released the fucking most notorious perk ever. Like the one perk that's just the best in Fallout 3, I think. And that was almost perfect. And that one just made the game so simple in terms of specking out your character because if you think about it long term, yes, you gotta get to level 30. Yes, by that point, your whole fucking character is basically at the end. That's like an end game perk, unless you decide to grind it up. And if you do decide to grind up early on, either through my masochist approach of farming up the Bethesda ruins, I'll get into that in a minute, or just farming up like unlimited XP from disarming a mine behind the security guard in Moya Brown's fucking shop. Uh, it's a hard perk to get if you're not like actively grinding it. But the end result was that you basically got yourself a perk that raised all your special stats to 9. And the reason why it's busted is you got to think about it on a deeper level. At first you're talking about only having a certain amount of skill points and or special points. With that special perk, it outweighs the special training. It just says "fuck you" special training, it kicks it square in the nuts. It raises all your stats to 9, which inadvertently also gives you an extra 18 points, I believe, because every special point that goes up, it raises like certain skills up by an additional 2 points. So let's just do the math here. You do fucking 18 points, I believe, in every skill times 7 special trees, I think. That's 126 skill points. That's almost a 13th because you gotta consider, you're not just maxing out the special tree. If you're going after the special tree, you're going for the whole 100% route. You're going for max skills and max special. That's what I deem a perfect character. And that's a huge boon because if I'm right, you also get an extra couple of points or like one extra point every 2 levels in luck. So ultimately, just from special alone, that's 25 skill points in every fucking tree. That could save you a whole lot of skill points in the long run. But, between the fact that, you can do that, you got way more skill points in Fallout 3 than you did Fallout New Vegas. the educated perk was way more beneficial, yada yada yada. It just felt like Fallout 3 was a little bit more streamlined to the point of, oh, you just hit level 30, you're a god. There wasn't really a whole lot of like specialization, especially if you utilize two glitches in the game. They're kind of the same thing, but they're in different areas of the map. What I'm talking about is the unlimited skill books in Bethesda Ruins, and I think the Ant Gulch, where a scientist is on like the other side of the map. Fuck it. This video is, analyzing the special trees and how to break your fucking character. Fuck it. We're in for a long one, guys. Um, what you had to do basically was go to these two areas, kill the fuckers, and then just wait 3 in-game days for the loot to respawn. Because on these two characters, I think it's like a raider leader with a flamer in the first building, and if I recall correctly, the scientist in the Ant Gulch, he's like in a cave of sorts, and he's like in the back. Once you kill these guys, they have two books on them. The Raider has like a big guns book, and the scientists have a science book. And it's really fucking slow. But what you can do essentially is farm these guys up 50 times. Or 100 if I'm right, if you didn't get the skilled reader perk, I think. So you'd have to farm up way more, but it could, in the long run, save you up a perk space for something way more important. Even though there's a lot of ways to make yourself broken. But, you do that, and fundamentally, out of the 13 skill trees, 2 of them are maxed out to 100 then. That's saving you almost like over 190 skill points. That's like almost 10 level up worths of fucking skill points that you can just put into to a variety of other skills. And again, that's not including like the extra 45 points that you get from like, the goat test, the tag skills. There's just so many ways you can easily max out these skill points in 3 as opposed to the rest of them. But yeah, almost perfect. Get that, and then you just go after like the 7 bobbleheads. Boom, you got 10 all your fucking special stats. Get skilled, fucking not skilled. That's a trait for Fallout New Vegas. Fuck. Get the like experienced reader, wherever the fuck it is for Fallout 3. Farm up those books, and before you know it, you're just easily fucking, maximizing your shit. And I mean, I know I kind of farmed it up in Tales of Two. I think Tales of Two Wastelands does let you farm up those books. I can't recall. I could be totally fucking wrong. No, wait, no, it's definitely not that. No, never mind. They definitely fixed that, which is expected. It's understandable. Tales of Two Wastelands a mod that combines both games. Anywho, Fallout 3 New Vegas. But if you're just playing an unpatched Fallout 3, like the optimal way to do it would just be, go to Bethesda Ruins, kill that one dude, get the fuck out, fast travel to the Gulch, kill that scientist, and then just wait 3 days out in the open. You don't even have to worry about like going back home unless you want offload your gear or heal up on a bed, and just rinse and repeat like 50 to 100 times. Boom, 2 of those skills are maxed out. You only have to worry about like 11 skills. Practically, not even. It's technically like 10 and a half because of the tagged skills. You can easily level up all your skills very close to 90s, 100s. Finish off a couple of extra books. You got yourself a perfect character in Fallout 3. It's like really straightforward with like minimum effort. And then Fallout 4, I'm leaving the best for last. Fallout 4 was a lot more simplistic because all it really is just keep grinding the fuck all the XP you can get until you're level what? Let me just try and let me just do some calculations here. Let's just say everything's at base 1. That's not the case because they do give you some skills. We'll just say on average you even it out. 5 in all statistics, I think. 35. Like, get to level 35 or 40, boom, you got your special stats up to 10. And because Fallout 4 did the bullshit thing of, removing skills, it's mainly relegated to the perks. It was so much it is easier to get all your specials up to 10, but by doing that, you miss out on perks that can make your game a whole lot easier. So you might inadvertently be making it more challenging for yourself. And I think it was just stupid they removed the skills from Fallout 3 New Vegas, but that's another conundrum. And then we go into New Vegas. And this is the one that I deem to be the best one because of how fucking challenging it is. And obviously, Fallout 3, you need the DLC, you need Broken Steel to get to level 30 to get almost perfect. New Vegas, you need at least. Well, no, you do need all the fucking DLC so you can get the max level cap of 50, but at minimum, if you don't care much about the skill points and to an extent the extra perks through a glitch, you can just go for dead money. But, ooh, this is where the meat of the video comes in. Do I have some soda? No, I don't, but I'll just drink this gulp here. Let's get into the very muddy and blurry guide to being a fucking god in Fallout New Vegas. Now, what some people, the huge part of this glitch, not the glitch, but the huge part of this guide is the check glitch. And to those that don't know about the check glitch, as soon as you boot up the game, you're in Good Springs, you start a quest with the Powder Gangers. They're like on the edge of the map. You talk to them. They're like, oh, we want to take over this town, blah, blah, blah. You kind of agree with them. What you got to do is you, if I'm right, have to find Ringo. Kill the fucker. It's the one innocent shred of blood that needs to be on your hands for this glitch to work. And then once you kill Ringo, you can cheese it by making him attack you first by saying, oh, I'm here to kill you. And if he shoots you, it's self-defense. You don't lose karma. A little bit of a cheat sheet there. And then you go back, tell the Power Gangers, okay, kill them, what's next? Okay, we need supplies. You gotta go to fucking Chet for the supplies. And this is where the game kind of spazzes out. What you have to do, kill the Power Gangers. Kill the fuckers that are outside there. It may be a little bit challenging depending on if you have the pre-order equipment or whatever. It's a little bit challenging, but kill them, boom. It fails the quest, but if I'm right, you can still go to Chet and be like, hey, Chet, I want to fucking steal some equipment on you, or bribe him, or whatever. And this is where the glitch gets interesting. What happens is the game doesn't know for Chet, what to do because the Power Gangers are dead, the quest has failed. Basically, the speech check is in limbo. So what happens is once you succeed the check, either with a speech check or a barter check, make sure you get one of those two upgraded sufficiently enough so you can do it. You complete it, you get yourself like 39mm rounds, some leather armor, and like 50 or 60 XP. Here's the thing. The speech check doesn't go away. And what you can do is scroll back down, select one of the two options, whichever is closest and requires less button clicks, or do what some geniuses do nowadays. I think the Spiffing Brit did this. That's why I'm remembering. Just fucking scroll down, like just have a macro enabled where it automatically does it for you. And just spam it infinitely. I can't count the amount of hours that I spent doing the check glitch over and over again just to break the game. And what essentially happens is you have unlimited leather armor you can sell everywhere for unlimited caps, so you can buy anything you want in the world. You have unlimited 9mm ammunition that if you decide to invest in a perk, the Gunrunner's perk, you can get yourself unlimited jacketed hollow points, which was like a broken ammo type early on in the game because the majority of the enemies don't have that much damage threshold. So you could just cause a shit ton of damage with just a puny fucking 9mm handgun. If you spec it the right way with a couple of perks, that 9mm handgun you start out with can do just as much damage as a fucking Magnum. And finally, you get yourself unlimited XP to the point where you can get from 0 or level 1 to the max level cap of 50 before you leave Good Springs. And this is where the pre-planning comes into play. Because what happens is you could leave Good Springs and it gives you a respec, and you can just respec your character, change your special point allotment, your character looks, your tag skills, everything. But here's the thing. It doesn't take away any of the perks that you had, that you picked whenever you were cheesing it with fucking Chet. So theoretically, in Fallout New Vegas, the GIMP was that, yeah, there's a level cap of 50 now, but they reduce the amount of perks you get down to like one every 2 levels, as opposed to one to every level in Fallout 3. So it was a way to balance it out, to add in some specialization. But if you decide to utilize the check glitch, with a level cap of 50, you can fundamentally get 25, like 50, 20, 25 perks before you leave Good Springs. And once you spec it again, it sets you back down to level 1 and re-awards you all that XP. And depending on if you decide to pick skilled, which gives you another like 5 skill points across the board in all of your skills, which is another thing you cheese. 1 second. What happens is you'll be down to like 46, 47, or God forbid, back to 50 if you don't take it, and you can pick another 25 perks. Before you leave Good Springs and actually begin your adventure, you can have 49 broken ass fucking perks. And unfortunately, in New Vegas's case, some of the perks were way more broken than Fallout 3. That's another fucking video idea I can come up with. Woohoo! And you're just a god. But that's just the beginning of the journey. Because it's not just the perks that fuck you up. Well, no. In terms of how broken the perks are, I guess it's like a 70-30. Perks are 70%, 30 is min-maxing. But it's still pretty fucking gnarly. Anywho, so what you gotta do to make this work, though, is that it's not just the perks that make you broken. There's no almost perfect in New Vegas. Unless you download the Tale of Two Wastelands mod, or God forbid just download an independent mod that just goes, oh hey, here's almost perfect, have fun. Then, okay, whatever, you can cheese the fuck out of it. But if you're playing vanilla New Vegas, no mods, small scams, you have to pre-plan it in regards to what perks you want. Now, I can't recall what I picked for it because it's been so long. But from what I can recall, at the start of the game, you pump in as many special points as you can to agility, because the one thing that you utilize for glitches is later on in the game, through dead money, there is a glitch where you can sell pre-war outfits to the vending machines, and those outfits give you like +1 agility. And what happens is when you sell it to them, the +1 agility is still on your character. So what you have to do is for your second level up, when you leave Good Springs and you get back to level 1, you reset your special stats, you have to lower your agility down to 1. And then just make it up for fucking dead money. Because then you can get all 9 or theoretically unlimited agility points, which if you go above like 13 or 14, your guns instantly reload to the point where it glitches the game and it doesn't even reload. It just perpetually reloads over and over and over again. It's really funny. From there, again, like I can't recall what the fuck I did. I know I had to have like a high luck, I think, like 9 in luck. Strength I got to keep down like 4 or 5 because I made it up with booze and buff out. And like certain other things. I'll go more in depth as to why. Intelligence and endurance, though, you definitely needed that shit up to 9. Intelligence for the XP and the maximum skill points, and 9 in endurance because you needed that shit high enough so that you could say, alright, get all the perks, the cybernetic upgrades from the chick down the New Vegas clinic. Strength, endurance, perception. I think that was like around 6 or 7 because Mint Nats improves that. Technically, you don't need intelligence all the way because you could also use Mint Nats, I believe. But I could be fucking wrong. It's been a long time since I saw what items you can get to boost it. The only one that I could think of that probably wasn't at 10, which goes against the perfect guide, was charisma. Because out of all the perks, like charisma didn't really have anything substantial. Like I was a lone wanderer. I didn't really utilize companions that much, and charisma fundamentally just improves like companion usage. So I was kind of just like, yeah, charisma's down to like 1 or 2. So technically, this isn't a perfect character, so to speak, but it's relatively fucking close and more rewarding than 3. But I digress. That's for leaving Good Springs. For when you first start out the game, you had to like place the special points a certain way because certain perks you'd want to get will be locked out because it's going to be so low. Because my agility is going to be so, at level 1, there's going to be some fundamental agility perks I won't be able to get for a second one. Like Slayer, 30% increase in swing speed for melee weapons. Stack that shit with a fucking Maya Katana. Fast as you tap the fucking trigger, baby. You can get yourself a strong melee build. But, beyond that, this is where the meat of the gameplay comes in. This is where like the pre-planning comes in, or not the pre-planning. This is where like the actual effect goes in. Once you've figured out what perks you're gonna get to suit your play style, and you go through specking your special stat twice. Another thing you had to take in consideration was if you want a shit ton of skill points. One of the other glitches earlier on that can benefit you greatly was the skill trait. It was added in through DLC. And what that does is just gives you an extra 5 points in all your skills, adding up to a total of 65 skill points, if I did my math correctly. And it only conveys like a 10% decrease in XP earned. It's nothing that bad. You could, rectify it with Swift Learner, but don't pick it. Don't do that. Don't you dare pick Swift Learner, motherfucker. Patience rewards those that wait. You pick skill, you get an extra 5 points. But here's the thing: this is where the cheesing comes in. This is where the glitches just reward you too much. When you leave Good Springs, you can respec your traits again, and lo and behold, your 5 skill points that were applied to all of your skills still apply from the previous first set of traits. So theoretically, what you could do is you can get skilled once, have 5 in all stats, and then pick it again when you respec outside of Good Springs. And fundamentally, that one trait gives you an extra 10 skill points in all of your skills. All of them. So that's 130 skill points. Holy shit. That's a lot. And you could do it even again in Old World Blues. You could spec your character one more time at the dock or whatever. I don't know. But that's like so late in the game, you don't even have to worry about it. If anything, you'd rather go for like maybe Logan's Run, which caps you at level 30. But if you did this cheating, you're going to be at level 50 regardless. The only reason why you would want to take Logan's Run is it once again increases like the chem duration, which is, that old saying, don't do drugs or some shit, or people that do drugs never win or some shit. I don't know what it is. In this case, people that do use drugs fucking win and become gods. But anywho, skill. 10 skill points off the bat for all your skills. In conjunction, if you manage to get all your special stats relatively up to like 10, that's 25 overall skill points. We'll just say a minimum of 20 just to be safe. That's 30 skill points in all of your skills from the get-go. Pretty fucking gnarly, I do say so myself. It kind of helps in the long run for when if you want to like not spec out with the educated reading perk or whatever, just so you can utilize it for more perks that will help you out for like the long play of the game. But from there, the real challenge comes into play of like making the most of every item. This is the second bit, or 20th bit, depending on where the fuck we are. Shit. Um, the next step is dead money because dead money is such a reliable way to get a certain like the certain set of items that you need. Um, what you have to do is go through the dead money DLC per usual until you unlock the casino. And what you gotta do is you gotta gamble. You gotta force yourself to gamble, unfortunately, until you get the complimentary voucher. Um, what you kind of should do instead is just keep winning as many Sierra Madre chips as possible until you get kicked out, because the virtual holograms are just like, oh, this guy is taking away all of our money we have absolutely no use for. Bar him from the fucking games. You do that, and what happens is, depending on like what holotapes you get in the Sierra Madre, like, make sure you scour the whole map for as many holotapes as possible. Fuck it, I'm gonna make sure I don't fuck up here because I want to make sure that I get this shit right. Sierra Madre vending machines. And what they could have are these 8 items. This is where you can fundamentally break the game. And what you do is you get the complimentary voucher, and I think it gives you like a certain amount of, like, I think 1,000 tokens. Okay, so like I think like every 3 days to a week, you get a complimentary voucher sent to the vending machine in Elijah's bunker, where the Dead Money DLC begins. It kind of becomes like your own little safe house, and what happens is you can keep getting a complimentary voucher for 1,000 chips every few days to a week. And what you can do is you can just spend it on all of these aids and chems. Let me just go down the fucking list. Need I remind you, these are worth 20 coins a pop. So, like, one complimentary voucher can get you weeks worth of chems. The big ones are MedX, which is a 25% like, basically 25 damage resistance. Not threshold, like raw damage decrease from damage. RadX, 25% increase in rad resistance. And then the big ones, Buff Out and Mint Nats. Mint Nats, Mint Tats, Brain Drugs. +2 intelligence, +2 perception, +1 charisma. Buff Out, +3 endurance, +2 strength. Fundamentally, you do the DLC, you get the complimentary voucher, you can spread out however you want, and just buy like 10 of them a pop. Here, MedX, RadX, 10 a pop, Buff Out, Mintats, 10 a pop, and like just space it out however the fuck you want. Get yourself some weapon kits, get yourself some doctor bags, or get yourself some steady so you can have like ungodly pinpoint accuracy for like 10 seconds. But ultimately, if you get like Day Tripper and Chemist to improve the durations, what essentially happens is if you keep reloading the world or just like wait a few days and farm it up for a couple days, you can basically have an unlimited 25 damage resistance to both radiation and overall damage, and a permanent increase to endurance, strength, perception, intelligence, and a little bit of charisma for the rest of your game. Just from the Sierra Madre, from doing Dead Money. That's phase one. And of course, there's also the other phase where you gotta make sure when you're in the Sierra Madre, you do the pre-war glitch where you sell off your shit and you try to get to at least 10 agility, preferably 11 or 12 in case there's some debuffs from from radiation poisoning. If you want to throw in Radchild so you can become Wolverine, but that's another that's a potentially another video. There's like so many fucking videos I can do on Fallout. I can't believe it. But then from there, you go and you get the implants from the chick at the New Vegas clinic. During that time, because you have Chemist and Day Tripper, your shit lasts so long, you could just fucking. It applies to like all chems, including alcohol. So what you can also do is, like, I think New Vegas is like the one game world where it gives you practically an unlimited amount of booze, especially at the Sierra Madre. All you really gotta do at that point is just get yourself a fuck ton of booze. Because if I recall, let me, Jesus, fuck opera. Let's go to okay, the survival skill. Here we go. If you have a survival skill of 100 and you decide to drink some booze, you get +3 strength, +3 charisma, -3 intelligence. Small price to pay because I know there's like other ways to increase your intelligence that much more, a la Mitnats. So, because of how common vodka is, and again, going back to the Sierra Madre, you can just get unlimited amounts of it for 10 fucking Sierra Madre tokens. So, again, do drugs, you're a winner. All that shit combined with, a couple of extra perks here and there for some quests or armor or whatever. I know I'm probably missing some details, but all that combined, you become more of a god in New Vegas, primarily because the perks are what really break the game more. Like the analogy I had in my head was that in Fallout 3, it was gear that broke the game. Case in point, Operation Anchorage and its buggy ass self, where if you utilize the Gary glitch, where you bring a dead body into the simulation machine and you just get yourself like unlimited ammo and all the unbreakable guns from Anchorage. What you do is you aim down at the end of the simulation and you just put all that shit in the dead body. You can just take unbreakable simulation items into the world, especially that unbreakable 30 damage resistance combat armor. You fundamentally never have to worry about repairing your guns again. You have weapons that do maximum damage, and you can get yourself unbreakable 10 millimeters, 10 millimeter submachine guns, a combat shotgun, sniper rifle, and an assault rifle, and I believe a rocket launcher too. But I'm not an explosive guy. So I'm ballistic. But anywho, Fallout 3 was more gear. But New Vegas is all about the inner power. Or New Vegas, yeah. It's all about the inner power. It's the perks that truly break the game. And I know this is going on for a very long time, but I just wanted to gush about the specials and like which one's the most rewarding and satisfying. New Vegas being the one that I feel is the most satisfying because there's a lot more steps you gotta go through to get that character. But ultimately, if you just follow through with it, and do your damnedest to like min-max everything, it feels a lot more rewarding at the end of the day. Especially when you're just a roaming god that just explores everything, like before you even do the main quest. You'll just see all these guys that are like, oh, you're just a fucking wastelander pleb. I can fucking down you easily. And you're just like, alright, bet. Go for it. You get one hit. And like no matter what they do, they just can't fuck you up because it's just you can tank so much damage. Like arguably you can go toe to toe with a Deathclaw. I'm not saying you can't without doing this shit, but it's so much easier if you just have like the right abilities, perks, and just utilizing certain glitches. But I know it's been a bit here, but the second part I mentioned all the way back at the beginning of the video, there was a second part to this, and it's like my stance on glitches for like these type of games where you just glitch the game to or exploit it, just get yourself unlimited power. And in the case of like something like New Vegas, like I feel like cheating has like changed in the world in the past several years because it feels like people have gotten more mellow out. Like I always remember that one quote for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was like a pinned quote on a Reddit post where the guy was basically like, "Oh yeah, you use this cheat to rob yourself an experience, like the experience of like going that distance to get the max level in Odyssey." And I'm just thinking here, yeah, because I want to spend 1,600 hours or more trying to fucking max out every mastery skill in Odyssey, no thank you. I'm fine for that. But in regards to like glitches and cheats, I kind of feel like exploits are kind of like a gray area because it's like nowadays when people like define cheating, they just define cheating when there's like an esports event or like an online type of thing, and people literally use hacks and modifiers to fuck with other people, and it's like that's a cheater, ban them. Like that's when you're like truly on a blacklist. That's when you're just shamed to high hell and back. But it seems like, if you're just using cheats by yourself or modifications or exploits, most people are kind of just like, you know what, you do you. It's cool. Like, I know back then, no doubt, when you did cheating, there was probably a lot of people that shunned you or like, oh, you're robbing yourself of the experience. Or, like old games back then where you decided to play on the easiest difficulty. It's like, nah, if you want the true ending, you gotta play on normal mode, bitch. But, yeah. I don't know. It's like I'm a little bit iffy. Me personally, I don't feel the exploit is anything like that cheaty. Like, yes, you're basically utilizing a glitch or an error that the developers didn't intend being in the base game, but it's like, if you have fun with it, you shouldn't feel bad for it. Like again, I cheated for the Odyssey experience. I utilized that one glitch where it was just you teabagged an enemy infinitely for like a few hours and gained like thousands of levels. I did that. I remember reading a fucking manga. I think it was Sanctuary, and I was just reading through it as I was continuously tapping circle on my controller over and over and over again. And I did that. And at first, I felt shameful because I was like, "Oh man, I didn't really like deserve all that stuff. That's not a genuine reward." But then I just think back and go, "Oh wait a minute, it's a Ubisoft game. These are the same guys that basically sold us a $10 pack to increase the XP earned by 50% and also shut down the user generated content that was awarding people millions upon millions of XP and money." And even though Ubisoft said, oh, it ruins the experience and takes away the spotlight from other people who are trying to create genuine, like, user generated content missions and stories, we all saw through the lies. We're all like, no, you took them down because they took away from people actually spending money on those boosters. Fuck you. That's all it was. And I'll confess, I had the dirty thoughts in my head, right? I had the dirty thoughts of spending $10. I think there was a sale, like very rare. I never thought there'd be a Helix sale, but I did see the sales for the bundle pack. Like, oh, I could get the money and XP boosters for 50% off. Relatively speaking, I couldn't just get the one pack. Like, you don't really need the money upgrade. You could just get the XP bundle. But that was the thing. Like, they made it high enough. Like that microtransaction scummy move where they price the items so high you gotta buy yourself the higher tier of like the currency you have to buy. So I couldn't even buy just the $5 Helix pack for just the $5 XP boost. No. The best fucking bundle was I had to buy the $20 bundle that was on sale for 50% off and buy the XP and money bundle for essentially $5 a pop. I couldn't get it separately. Fuck you, Ubisoft. So yeah, at first I felt, disgraced that I utilized the teabagging glitch, but then I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm glad I did that because, this is what I'll do. I'll just play through the game legitimately. No mods, no scams, no exploits. And then once I experience it for the way that it is, I beat the fucking game, whatever, I rushed through it, I take my time. You can bet your ass the second playthrough, it's my own rules now, bitch. But that's the thing. It's like exploits are kind of like the gray area. Because to me personally, they don't feel like cheats. Because, yes, you are using a glitch or an effect that the developers didn't intend. But to me, you're still grinding. You're still putting in a little bit of time to get you that power. The best example was, I'm talking old school days here. Kingdom Hearts 2, early 2000s. There was an area, I think it was the Lion King map. I forgot what it was called. The Oasis? I don't know. The second run after, like the second part of the story where you go back to it to fix some sort of problem, there was an area, I think it was on Pride Rock. It was like the top of the mountain, where the Lion King resides. I don't know, sue me. Simba, I guess. Um, there's these flying fishies, or flying birds, wherever the fuck they were. They were just like a fucking swarm of Heartless. And what you did was you got yourself like a bunch of like magic abilities. I think it was the Gravitron ability, where like it was like a black hole of sorts, and you just spam the fuck out of it. Just spam it. Like you just see Sora just like twirling in the sky as a little tiger pup, cub, whatever. And he just spams a magic ability from a fucking keyblade in his mouth, and you just kill unlimited amounts of these fucking flying Heartless. The keyword is unlimited, because what you do is once you kill all of them in that area, all you literally have to do is run back down the stairs, run back up, and the fuckers respawn. And the reason why it was so so great was that it was basically a very simplified version to grind up unlimited XP. Instead of having like go to different areas, actually putting the effort of like trying to fight them, it was just tap a button, spawn a magic ability, they die instantly. That's it. And at that point, you're probably like around level 40 or 50. You can get the other 50 levels effortlessly just by spamming that one single area. And that is an exploit. That was kind of like, that's more of an exploit than it is a glitch. Again, segmenting the two, but unfortunately, Square Enix removed that, I think, in the Final Mix Plus version. So that's like lost to time unless you play it on emulator or, God forbid, modders implement it back in. I actually wonder if they did or not. I'll have to check when I'm done here. But anyway, my stance, personally, if you're doing it yourself and you're not affecting anyone else, have at it, man. Use that check glitch till your heart's content. Sell all those agility items and give yourself unlimited agility points. Give yourself, like, level 99 in agility. God forbid, for Fallout 4, use that XP curve mod where it reduces the XP need just so you can actually, like, level up to 272 fucking times to get yourself all the perks and all the special stats maxed out. Because fuck it, that's how I basically saw Fallout New Vegas. Make yourself a god at the start and let the real gameplay be the treasure hunt of hunting down all those unique weapons, experiencing the story, using your silver tongue and expertise to solve problems without killing people. To me, that was the real joy of Fallout New Vegas. And that's when you know a game is really good. It's that even without like the core gameplay being in the forefront, the rest of it is fucking marvelous. The interactions with characters, the different ways you can solve quests, the fucking gear itself being so unique and awesome, it makes you want to go out of your way to hunt it down. That's what I love the most about the Fallout games. That, everything about them, some of it could be flawed, but ultimately it was just a great and glorious package that some RPG games nowadays just don't really get right. Cyberpunk 2077, I'm looking at you. Specifically the Johnny Silverhand Funko Pop that I have. But yeah, with fucking Cyberpunk, it just felt like it was all, like status point upgrades. As opposed to, like, actual genuine perks with, like, flair and, like, style to it. And, like, actual new mechanics being given to you. Or, God forbid, like, actually unique weapons instead of just, oh yeah, every time you level up you get, like, a slightly more powerful weapon. At least in New Vegas, like, yeah, like, the enemies did increase in power relative to your level, but ultimately it was, like, the gear was kind of, like, independent of that. Like, yes, their health may go out. Yes, they might wear some slightly better armor, but there was always, like, different tiers of gear that had unique flavorings tailored to their respective class that made them unique and worthwhile to hunt down. So even exploits aside, at least the gameplay of like the Fallout series, bar 76 and a little bit of 4, it holds up marvelously. And also, again, if you want to, glitch out the fucking books and whatnot, go for it. It's just exploit to your heart's content, so long as you don't fuck up anybody else's time. Unless it's with a friend in co-op and they don't mind fucking glitching with you, then have fun together. Have a fucking glitch fest. A jerk fest of fucking cheats. But holy shit, that was a lot. Yeah, I just wanted to gush about Special. Fallout New Vegas reigns supreme. And, like, my small stance on glitches and cheats. You know? Like a half and half. I don't know. But yeah, that's all. Usual YouTube chant. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. What's your special build? What did you do to achieve godlike stats? Doesn't even have to be for the special stats. It could be purely fucking perks. It could just be purely the fucking gear that you get. There's various ways you could become a wasteland god in the Fallout universe. I attest to that. The amount of fucking, like, different perks I would try out in Fallout New Vegas is unimaginable. Again, the amount of restarts. But, and also let me know what your stance is on cheats. Do you condemn anybody that even thinks about typing in a normal cheat code? Or are you just like, so long as it doesn't fuck with anybody else, I don't care. Anyway, the Rambling Manager's clocking out for now. You guys keep on surviving in the wasteland we call Earth. Yeah, I don't know. Bye.